Hello and welcome to this Infusion video. I'm going to do a recorded video with the Sony camera, but that's recharging and I've already downloaded videos to my computer, so I was like, I don't feel like dealing with that. I've done enough on those things. I'll just do a live broadcast of this Infusion, which is fine live anyway. So I have Ice-brewed ale introduced in 1994, Keystone from Coors Brewing Company. It's 5.9% alcohol, and it's certified kosher. Interestingly, oh, hey, Ronnie. Ronnie S says, cheers, Ron. Interestingly, I was looking at the Keystone Light website, which is the website for the whole product line, but it's keystonelight.com. They've dropped the Keystone Premium, you know, the old red label. Well, they may as well have dropped it. Nobody could get it. It's a pretty good premium, so-called premium beer. I've brewed ale. You have? And they've replaced it with a coming soon, which could be this week. Who knows? What do they call it? Keystone lime pie. It's kind of like a Keystone beer with key lime pie type flavor. So it's a flavored beer. I was like shocked. I'm looking at that like, so now they're going to have Keystone Light, Keystone Ice, and this Keystone sort of like tropical punch flavor, you know, with a cartoon character on the can, you know, the routine. Look on Alcohol Legs. I posted a photo. So I said, well, anytime you think it's bad, it's going to get a lot worse. But I mean, I'll try it, of course. I'll do the review. Iced brewed ale. Okay. So we've got the Keystone Ice brewed ale. I was at my friend David's house in Jefferson Parish doing reviews, but I was trying to keep things in check, like Julio. And that went very well. We didn't agree exactly on things, but we had a lot of fun. And so we were doing, we were just trying Hefeweizen and India Pale Ale and blended American whiskey. And what else we did? Something else. It was good. So here we've got, wait a minute. I tried that new one. I'm a big fan of Keystone Ice. Does David live in Metairie or Kenner, brah? He lives in Jefferson, you know, Jefferson Parish. You know what I'm saying? Jefferson, like along Jefferson Highway, between the Huey P. Long Bridge and New Orleans Parish line, that area. You know that area. My mom used to, my mother went to high school there at Riverdale, baby. Jefferson, brah. Yeah, right. That's how they talk, Ronnie. They speak like that down there. All right, so we've got the Keystone Ice brewed ale. They even give the IBUs now on their website, like 9.6. Well, in other words, it's not bitter. Here's the Ian McCleod, King Robert II. And this brand's been on the market for a long time. And I got a huge bottle with the handle, a handle bottle. No, I don't think so. Jefferson is very big. I'm not talking about Jefferson Parish. I mean the town of Jefferson. There is a town, so to speak, called Jefferson. Not Metairie, not River Ridge, not Kenner, not Elmwood, Jefferson. Why in that glass? Says Pep's dog. Well, this is a Scotch glass. It's a Chivas Regal. Chivas. I could have done Chivas, but I don't have but a 750 of Chivas, and I don't want to waste it on this, if you want to say the word waste. Is this the only King Robert? No. There is a King Robert II. This is a 3-year age. This is a base model. There's a 12-year age, which I've not seen. And there's also a travel exclusive. You can only buy it at airports. But all whiskey brands have that. And that's like a big thing people chase down. So I have never bought a travel exclusive. That's how Blanton's started. You know, Blanton's single malt, it used to be an airport only product, and then it got so popular. They still make so many airport and European only Blantons. We get the Blantons, right? $60 a bottle if you're lucky. But hold on a minute. There's like 4 or 5 other ones. Look on blantons.com or whatever it is, the website. So I poured this in. I'm mixing it up. Look at all that foam on this instrument. Let me go rinse that off. So all these liquor companies have travel, they call it travel exclusive. It could be rum, gin, whiskey, tequila. It doesn't really matter. They got these things you can only get at the airport. What's the concept behind that? I don't really understand that. Somebody might be able to explain that. Seems to me if they had it at the regular store, you would buy it, but maybe they're trying to make it scarce on purpose, so you'd be trying to track it down and they add mystique. I don't understand. Are there travel exclusive beers? Probably. There are certain Budweiser beers you can only get in certain states, like the Budweiser Harvest Reserve. Does that make sense to me? No. There's certain Michelobes you can only get in like Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska. You say, no, you can get Michelob Ultra everywhere. I'm not talking about that. Go to your local store and see if they got Michelob. What do they call it? Michelob Golden Draft. Michelob Golden Draft and Golden Draft Light. I've never seen it. I've seen it in Minnesota. They call it Goldie Light, really popular in Minneapolis. So it's really strange, you know, the whiskey, beer, wine world. Harahan? No, he's not in Harahan. He's in Jefferson, you know, the town of Jefferson. I told you where it is. It's from Causeway Boulevard, you know, Louisiana Highway 31, whatever that number is, 3142. I can't remember. 3146, right? 3146. Between there and the New Orleans Parish line. That's Jefferson. And from south of Airline Highway to the Mississippi River, that's called Jefferson. No, not Causeway. What am I saying? Clearview, 3152. Clearview, 3152, all the way to New Orleans. Okay, that's what the town's called. I don't know how else to describe that. Jefferson is by Elmwood. Yeah. I didn't know there was a Jefferson. I thought there was just Jefferson Parish. No, it's the town of Jefferson. It's not well known. That's where River Ridge is. Okay. They even have a sign, Old Jefferson. Next time you're on Louisiana Highway 61 Airline, look, there's a sign when you get on Central Boulevard. It says Old Jefferson, like you're entering Old Jefferson. All right. Anyway. So we were doing a bunch of reviews. I lost track of what we were doing, but oh yeah, that Imperial Stout from Bell's that was aged in bourbon barrels. It was not that good. It was sort of like inferior to what we've had in the past. It was from his museum, and he was saying, yeah, that was like $7.99 a bottle. I said, why would you pay that? It really was. It had a weird chalky powder, like, you know, the chocolate powder, that baking powder. It was, I mean, he said it was a B+, and I was saying it was more like an A-. And then, of course, naturally, once we get off the air, he tells me it really wasn't that high. It was like a B-. I was like, well, why don't you say that on camera? And then he says, well, I don't want to cause controversy. I was like, no, you got to do honest reviews. Honest, not tell people what they want to hear. You tell them what they need to hear, even if they don't want to hear it. So I've talked to him about that in the past. Like, no, don't do that to me. When I shut off the camera, you tell me it ain't really that good. No, say it on camera. People want to hear it. All right. Anyway, so I mixed up the Scotch, the King Robert II, in the Ice-brewed ale. Love Ultra, says Peps Dog. I think you would love the Michelob Golden Draft Light, and I think you would love the Michelob Golden Draft, which is a draft packaged draft beer, not pasteurized, cold brewed, cold filtered, but try finding it. I'm not going to go chase down travel exclusive products. Whoa! The smoke. Now, is King Robert II a particularly smoky Scotch whiskey? No, it isn't. It does have some smoke. If you want a really smoky one, I'm talking about blended, get 100 pipers. Go to Mathern's, Rouse's, get 100 pipers. Sometimes you can get it for $8.99. It's so smoky. It's so rich. It's so peaty. It's like smoked pork when you're drinking it. Oh, it's incredible. 100 pipers. But King Robert II is much milder, much milder. So here we have this ale. Then there's that mild and mellow King Robert II smoke aspect added to it. Now, I don't do infusions a lot. I've made a playlist, and tomorrow morning, if I can remember, I'll add this to the playlist. If not, it'll be this weekend. Do I recommend infusing whiskey or rum or gin into whiskey? I don't really recommend that, although I do plan to do a rum infusion, like Keystone Ice. I get it for $7.99 a 15-pack. You know, I'm going to use that as my base. And why wouldn't I? Keystone Ice is probably one of the best mass-produced beers in America anyway. True story. I'm going to do the Bacardi Grand Reserva Diaz, the 10-year age. That's going to give it a rich thing. I still can't find that. I've been looking for it. What are you looking for? I'm not sure I'm following what you're saying, what you're looking for. Been looking. What's up, says Travis. Just chilling, drinking a bud. No, actually drinking a Keystone Ice infused with Scotch. This is really interesting. There's a waxiness. It adds a wax, like a, like wax. And a smoke and peat. And what is peat? If you never had Scotch, how can I describe peat? It's like compost. Some people have a compost in their yard with a little rotted vegetable matter. Well, it's kind of like that. A lot of people, if they drink Scotch, are just gagged. Rotted vegetable matter is just not their game plan. Backwoods Billy. Oh, yeah. Cheers, guys. The peat. Backwoods Billy does great beer analysis. He is an analyst. And Backwoods Billy, I think, would agree with me. If people get on the internet and dog on Keystone Ice talking about how garbage it is, they're wrong. Now, my friend David, and he's got a beer museum that would boggle your mind. I mean, literally boggle your mind. I don't even understand it. Like, why would you have all this beer in your house and you could drink it? But anyway, he drinks some of the most expensive beers I've ever heard of. And I'm like, well, I guess if your hobby is drinking beer, when you put a lot of money into it, it doesn't really matter, because some people's hobby is boating. Like, they'll buy a huge expensive boat, like literally a boat. But so he probably hasn't spent that much money on beer, but he spent a lot. I mean, like a lot, not like $100, like a whole lot of money. But you know what his standby beer is? Bud Ice. He was in this town yesterday, and he said, there's the rest. And I saw this 6-pack. I said, what you got, Bud Ice? He said, hell yeah. Because he can come here and go to Food for Less and get Bud Ice for $4.39 a 6-pack. He said, ain't nothing. I'm talking about pint cans, people. $4 $1.39 a 6-pack of pint cans of packaged draft beer. You ever wondered why Bud Ice tastes better than like most of the other Anheuser-Busch brands? It ain't pasteurized. All right. And he loves that a lot. Like a whole lot. Anyway, I hope he's not watching this video. This hair is in my eye. I actually love Keystone Ice, also Genesee, yeah, which we can't get in Louisiana, to my great detriment. I just found this channel, says Kai Megard. You just found gold, buddy. You found the best channel in the world. Well, maybe not, but I'm just saying that for marketing purposes. Good deal, gold. Good evening. Never blended Scotch and beer, but love to blend Compass Box, Peat Monster, and Lefroy 10 cask strength. Sounds like something I'd like to do. Some people come on this channel and they're like, well, I was drinking this Megalith 29-year aged single malt Scotch that was only bottled in 5 bottles, and I paid $2,900 for it. And, well, I mean, I'm very proud of you for drinking that, and I would drink that. I haven't gotten around to it. I think what they do is they make it like an implied like put down of what I'm drinking. I mean, I don't really care. I would drink Lefroy. I would drink everything. You got me. My plan, the game plan is to drink everything, but I got to get around to it. But right now I'm drinking King Robert II. I found this channel from Reviewing Crazy Cowboy. Oh, yeah. Oh. I did score to C, though. I wouldn't make a habit of buying that. I bought that in Arlington, Texas. You know, right close to the Rangers Stadium, the old stadium that was replaced in 2020, which I've been to many times. And in fact, that's the first major league game I ever went to, was at the Rangers ballpark in Arlington in the year 2000. And but I went to a liquor store. There's a fascinating liquor store over there on the old US Highway 80, the old 80. It's called Texas Highway 180 now, but it's a long, long highway. Long, you know, runs from like El Paso to the Atlantic Ocean type thing. But I went in that liquor store and I was like mind boggled. I was like, look at all this liquor, look at all this beer, look at all this everything. This is more exciting than the game. So I bought the Crazy Cowboy. I mean, it was only 99 cents. I mean, I knew what I was getting. But and I parked close, and then I walked to the stadium on a railroad track. I thought, am I going to survive? But it's free parking, and went to the game, which was good. Been there quite a few times, and I tried the Crazy Cowboy. But you know what's going to happen next time I go to Arlington to see the Rangers. I got to go to the new stadium. I've been to 38 Major League Baseball stadiums. I've been to every Major League Baseball stadium. You think I'm not going to go to this one? But I got to go to that liquor store. I got to check it out. See, that's my cover. That'll be the real reason to go. Now I can pretend like I was going for the game. But, you know, okay. Well, the predominant flavor here is actually corn. You say, oh, they use corn syrup. I'm well aware of that. And then this Scotch is mostly corn, if you want to be techno. I'm talking about the peat. But what's the body here? What's the body? The body is corn whiskey, grain whiskey, corn. You know, maize. So that's what you're getting. Now, do you get a little smoke and a little peat? You get a little bit of it, but you saw I only put a few little drops. It was almost like not enough. But I don't want to waste it. I got about 12 years left of taste challenges to do with this. The aroma is very Chivas Regal-y. You know what I'm saying? Like if you ever had Chivas Regal, it's got that, how do you call that? Like a full, I don't really like it, actually. But it's kind of bland, but it's like a full multi-grain distilled liquor thing. Yeah. Does Diageo make now? I mean, Chivas Regal, they have the 12 years, the basic. I just find it's bland. I mean, Buchanan's is way better. It's also from Diageo, so it doesn't really matter. But I haven't had the Chivas 18-year age. I haven't had the 25-year age. Those be $200-300 a bottle. I'm sure they're fabulous, you know, like beyond belief. So I realize that, but just the regular Chivas Regal this day, I'm not talking about 1973 on The Exorcist. Remember The Exorcist? They were drinking. That was like a nearly 90 proof. All right, so that was actually a different product. So yeah, it's sort of like a mashup. It's just like smoked pork, a lot of corn, water, no bitterness, ice-brewed ale, and there you go. So is this something that you need to do? No. Is it an extraordinary experience? Not really. Is it a bad experience? No, it's not a bad experience. It's just not remarkable. It's like, okay, Keystone Ice, if you find a bottle, it's like Charlie finding the golden ticket, because Keystone Ice is made in bottles, believe me, because I've bought 12-ounce bottles. But you'll probably have a better chance of going and have lunch with the Pope or the president than finding that. But the cans, you know, are common. The King Robert II is just ordinary, regular old value price Scotch. It's not bad, but it's nothing to get too excited about. I paid $18.99 for the bottle, and I think that was a fair price. I know it was. It was a fair price. It's well made. It's not trash. Hardly trash. If you want trash, get Highland Mist. Oh, I didn't say that. Sorry, Sazerac. Don't track me down. I live only 30 miles from their headquarters. You might look for me. Let's see. I got to look at these comments, and I'm going to close it out. So what I recommend, an infusion with King Robert II and Keystone Ice. I wouldn't recommend it, but I wouldn't discourage it. It's like your personal option. There's no great benefit from it. I think the better choice would be to drink Keystone Ice on its own merits with a ham sandwich and some dill pickles or kosher pickles and some potato chips. The King Robert II would probably be better in whatever mixed drinks people make. I never make those. I just drink it neat, but it's all right on its own. But, of course, not remarkable. But good. Okay, I got to put my glasses on because I can't see too well without glasses. All right. Jack Cottrell says, good evening, all, just bush and chips for me. Only thing I had for supper was some very hot, great value potato chips. What do they call that? The fiery hot. They're actually really hot. You know, most of these mass-produced potato chips, they say hot, and you're like, where's the heat? The Walmart, you'll be blowing your nose. It's going to make your nose run. It's really hot. Really good, too. They must be, I get the feeling that those Walmart chips are made by Frito-Lay. I could be wrong, but I think that's probably true. They just had that Frito-Lay, like Frito-Lay uses a certain oil, cooking oil, and the Walmart Great Value has that same flavor. I found this. Okay, I saw Billy Joel at Arlington Stadium in October. Oh, I bet that was a good, enjoyable experience. FACP monitoring. Backwards Billy says, I personally would not pay $2,900 for a bottle of scotch. I wouldn't either. But you can go to Sazerac House in New Orleans. They got a blended Scotch whiskey aged 50 years on sale for the low price of $50. Max would be $50. Also, Samuel Adams Utopia, $250 a bottle? Ripoff. It's still no way overpriced, in my opinion. I agree. Voltron says, all right, Ron, streaming during normal business hours, laughing out loud. Right. Like, it's not 5:30 in the morning. Why am I on here, right? I'm about to get off of this, though. I got to go to sleep. I'll be up 2 in the morning now, 2, 3 in the morning. Probably about 3:30, something like that. Trying to find all these comments. You just found gold, buddy. I stock up on Rolling Rock. We can get Rolling Rock here. It's not too expensive. It's not the greatest price, but it's not a bad price. All right, Ron. Oh, haha, says Kai. Haha, you said that was your secret parking spot. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not secret. It's like hidden in plain sight. It's one of those parking spots that is hidden in plain sight, like with the Miami Marlins. I don't pay to go see the Miami Marlins. I mean, I don't pay for parking. Obviously, the ticket I have to pay for. I went to see the Tampa Bay Rays and the Miami Marlins. What, 7, 8 times in the last 4 years? I didn't pay to park. You think I paid money to park? The Dodge Avenger, and now the Ranger. The Ranger. The Ram. I did have a Ranger once. Oh, no. No. I don't pay to park. Well, sometimes, not usually. I didn't pay to go see the Mets. But that's another story. All right, Ron. The stadium wasn't finished. It's being built. Yeah, when I went, they were just starting to lay the groundwork for it. Ever had Booker's whiskey? No, but I've heard about it. Ron, I missed your stream last night where you were showing some more of your comic collection. Says Inman. The Hulk number 181 was impressive. Well, yeah, it's in great shape. It's not perfect, but it's near perfect. You know what I mean? It's like so wonderful. So if it's selling for $1,000, I could get $850 for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's primo or nearly so. And I paid $15. Backwoods says, actually, Innocent Guns has a barrel-aged beer that is aged in Scotch barrels. They were the first brewery to barrel-aged beers. Right. Well, they put the barrel in the beer, though. Remember that. He sent a rusty nail Scotch and a Drambuie over ice. Okay. I'm enjoying a Sierra Nevada's Hazy Little Thing IPA, then moving on to Oscar Blues Citrus Canna Bliss. I love the Canna Bliss. I wasn't too thrilled with the Hazy Little Thing, but I like the Canna Bliss. Voltron says, the YouTuber Angry Video Game Nerd got me into Rolling Rock. Oh, yeah, he loves Rolling Rock. Like, that's the only thing he drinks. Well, I like Rolling Rock. I didn't really like Rolling Rock in the 90s when it was independent. It had a strange chalky undertaste. It was like you're chewing on chalk. I was like, what's going on with this beer? What's wrong with this beer, you know? And then when Anheuser-Busch bought it, I really think this happened. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not a defender of corporate things, but I think Anheuser-Busch people sat down and they tasted the Rolling Rock and they were like, yeah, what's up with this chalkiness? And they corrected that. So ever since 2006, when they bought it out, it tastes way better. And it's not a great beer or anything, but it's much nicer. I do miss the Rolling Rock Amber Lager, that red lager. That was a nice product, but people didn't buy it, you know. Whiskey Scotch said, I would like to get your opinion on the Doors' LA Woman full album. Oh, yeah, from 1971. Well, that's probably their best album, you know. That's when they were really coming into form. So there's a fascinating interview with Jim Morrison from 1971, like around January. It goes on for 2 hours. I couldn't help it. I had to listen to the whole interview. And somebody went to his apartment in Los Angeles with his girlfriend, and they were interviewing him. And he was ordering food on the phone while they were interviewing him, saying, I want this Chinese food. He's telling them, I want the wonton, the fried wonton. He's telling, I don't want the egg rolls. I want the fried wontons with that brown gravy. And the interviewer says, well, you know, everybody says you're fat now. You're fat. Of course, Jim Morrison, you know, got overweight and everything like that. And they said, what do you say about that? Why did you get overweight? And he said, well, he's a great interviewer. If you ever listen to Jim Morrison interviews, they're great, honest answers. He says, well, just like a natural consequence of aging. You know, like I'm 27 and I like to eat a lot of Chinese food with fried wontons and heavy brown gravy, and I got fat. Like, why are you asking me this question? You don't know people that got fat? So that's amazing. It's a great interview. Oh, well, this is interesting because it's PT, not like Petey in our gang, the Pitbull, but Petey like Pete. Jean-Pierre says, really? Wow, Jay. Will it work with Bud Ice? Yeah, it'd probably work with Bud Ice, be the same type application. Bud Ice is a lager. This is ice-brewed ale. Probably doesn't mean much at all, if anything. Do you watch Angry Video Game Nerd? No. Cheers and have a nice night. I know I'm going to lay down and watch pro basketball. When are you going to put your review of St. Archer? That's coming very soon. I would say next week, earlier than later. I heard Jim Morrison was a CIA asset. No, I do not believe that Jim Morrison was CIA. I think that maybe his handler was. Better not say too much. Blake says, cheers, everyone. Hey, Blake. Best egg rolls ever are at Bamboo Garden Restaurant in Luling. Yeah, that could be true. The best egg rolls ever were at Fong's, but they're out of business because they all got old. Fong's was the worst looking place, right, on Louisiana Highway 49 in Kenner. The worst looking restaurant with the best tasting food. Oh yeah, they were the best. But anyway, the lady was like, I'm 85 years old. My children do not want to run this restaurant. And I said, well, I didn't know what to tell her. I said, well, it's like, what do? Your father started it in 1927, and you came from China and 20 years later, and then you ran it. Your children have no interest in it. I think in another 20 years, there won't be any Chinese restaurants. There might be a handful. They won't be run by Chinese people. Yeah, it's all right. It's got some peat. Yeah, it's not bad. It was an interesting infusion. I think in 20 years, Chinese restaurants will be run by people who are not Chinese, that are making Chinese style food. And I've talked to Chinese people, and they say, well, our children went to college. They have bachelor's degrees. And like, they didn't get a degree in cooking wok food, stir-fried food. So running a restaurant is a hell of a job. It's hard work. It's grueling. You do it 6 days a week. You never sleep. When I used to go to Fong's, the lady told me, she said, I get here at 4 a.m. and I hand roll the egg rolls. She did them by hand, and then I said, why do they call them egg rolls? She said, well, they take egg yolk and they use it as glue. So there's not that dedication. And I mean, what do you get from it? You work grueling hours, and they probably make a tolerable amount of money per year. So that those things are dying away. It's family owned. So Chinese buffets are trash nowadays, says Scholar Fuller. Well, they're all going out of business. Look around. Every time you turn your head, a Chinese buffet is going out of business. That's we're going to look back years later and say, man, remember back in 2003, they had such wonderful Chinese buffets. And then in 2013, they started to go into decline. And then in 2023, they all disappeared. I think that's what we're going to say. Yeah. That's right. So that's it. The infusion it's a winner in the sense that you could do it. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I would rather drink Keystone Ice on its own merits, and I would rather taste challenge King Robert II on its own merits. But as a combo, it's not a failure, but I don't see why anybody would want to actually do it. I did it. Yeah, it's all right. My town has killer Japanese restaurants. I just heard a rat. What is this? A rat or a squirrel? It can't be a squirrel. Squirrels go to sleep at night. Getting killed. We have big owls live in Louisiana, and they'll be out during the wintertime, fall, winter, spring, to be say, ooh, 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 ooh. And they live up, they're up in the trees, and they're just monitoring everything. They're looking around. And if they see a rat, I say it's a rat. It could be anything, right? But they'll pounce on it. And then you'll hear the animal screaming, the rat. Like some shrieking, they're just being destroyed. Do I have any sympathy? No, I have no sympathy for rodents. But I hear that every night. If I'm laying in bed and the windows are open like tonight, why would I not have the windows open? So they're being killed by the owls. Well, that's the law of nature. That's some pretty good size ones in Tallahassee. Mm. I've been to Tallahassee many times. Bought some good liquor products there, good beers. Unfortunately, on U.S. Highway 27, they used to have a beautiful liquor store, ABC, but something happened and it closed. I don't know why. I've stayed at the, the Howard Johnson's on 27 southbound. It's a pretty nice place. Ron, have you ever reviewed Rogue Santa's Private Reserve? Yeah, I don't think you have. Yeah, I have. Actually, I have reviewed that. Man, it's not a bad beer. It's pretty good. Unfortunately, Rogue has sort of like declined to an incredible extent. Let's see, 7. Yeah, let's say 6 years ago, Rogue was in play. I mean, you would go to a beer store, Rogue would have multiple bombers 6 years ago, 2014. Now, you'd be lucky if you find Rogue Dead Guy Ale. Well, you might find it. Nobody buys it. No, nobody buys it. It's hit or miss. Better beer in Georgia, yeah. So where you are in Louisiana, I'm in St. John the Baptist Parish. We do get nutria rats. I think that's what they're called, nutrias. Yeah, it's like a huge rat the size of a dog. They eat grass. They eat vegetables. I used to be able to find it in every year in 6-packs, but I have not seen it in about 5 years. Same story here. I thought it was a good beer, but Rogue has gone down to virtually nothing. It's like Stone, Bell's. Oh, you might go here, there, some other obscure place and find Rogues, Bell's, Stone. But do you really see it? No. You don't see it. All right. So anyway, would I recommend this infusion? Well, yeah, why not? I mean, you can do it. Wouldn't hurt. May not help. Won't hurt. I'm so thirsty. I can't talk. I have to get some water in my mouth. All right. So anyway, well, I'll do some more infusions. Yeah, I think the next one I'm going to do is going to be rum. It's going to be the Bacardi 10-year aged, the Grand Reserva Diaz. Will it be a great experience? Well, it'll be interesting. Where can I find Sapporo? Oh, I couldn't tell you. I don't know where. If you get on the Sapporo website, oh, it might have a locator too, but I can't. I don't know. We don't get Sapporo around here. Nobody buys that. What game you watching tonight? Well, I'm missing about 10 minutes of it. I need to go watch the New Orleans Pelicans. Yeah, Pelicans. Yeah. Doing that right now. All right, thanks for watching this video production. And let's see, tomorrow night is Fandango Friday. Fandango Friday.